What's going on, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to the channel, and I hope you're sitting down because this is one of the most underrated yet possibly game-changing moves Dallas has made this offseason. I'm talking about linebacker Jack Sanborn. Yes, you heard that right. Jack Sanborn is now a Dallas Cowboy. Signed, sealed, and delivered for a multi-year deal reportedly lasting 3 years. That's right, the front office wasted no time locking down a young, physical, high IQ linebacker that perfectly fits what this reworked Dallas defense is trying to accomplish under new defensive leadership. And let me tell you, this move didn't come out of nowhere. There's been chatter, there were whispers, and now it's official. Sanborn is bringing his blue-collar mentality, his hard-hitting presence, and his Chicago grind down to Texas to reinforce a linebacker room that was in serious need of stability, depth, and toughness. Now, for those of you who might not know much about Jack Sanborn, let me break it down for you real quick. Sanborn is just 24 years old and went undrafted out of Wisconsin back in 2022, but don't let that fool you. This kid has already made an impact in the NFL. With the Chicago Bears, he stepped in as a rookie and showed a nose for the football that can't be taught. In just 2 full seasons, he put up 164 total tackles, showed his instincts in run defense, dropped into coverage, made 14 tackles for loss, recorded 4.5 sacks, and even snagged himself an interception. And that's just scratching the surface. He's a high-effort, high-IQ linebacker who always seems to be in the right place at the right time. He's a film room junkie, a guy who studies tendencies, understands blocking schemes, and makes plays on anticipation and grit. He's not a flashy name. He's not going to be on every highlight reel, but for those who really follow the game, who understand scheme fit and defensive structure, Sanborn is exactly the type of player who elevates the middle of a defense from average to dependable. And this isn't just a talent move, this is a system move. Let's not forget, new Cowboys defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus coached Sanborn in Chicago. That means they've already got chemistry, communication, and trust. That's everything in a Mike linebacker. Think about it. If you're implementing a new defensive system, wouldn't you want someone in the locker room who already knows your terminology, your formations, your reads, your adjustments? Absolutely. Sanborn becomes a player coach on the field from day one, someone who can help the rest of the linebacking core transition smoothly into this new era of Cowboys defense. And with Leighton Vander Esch's retirement and Damone Clark still a question mark in terms of consistency, this move couldn't be more timely. Not only does Sanborn bring run-stuffing power and sideline-to-sideline hustle, but he brings knowledge and leadership, and he's still only 24 years old. He's entering his prime with experience, upside, and a chip on his shoulder after being let go by the Bears, who, quite honestly, might regret this move when they see him succeed in a Dallas uniform. And let's be real, Dallas needed this badly. The Cowboys have long had questions at linebacker. Injuries, inconsistency, lack of depth. It's been a revolving door behind the defensive line. Sure, there's young talent like DeMarvion Overshown, but he's coming off a major injury. Clark has flashed but hasn't shown every down dominance. And the signing of Kenneth Murray, while promising, isn't enough on its own to lock down the second level. Sanborn changes that. He gives you someone who can rotate in early, possibly even start depending on camp performance, and anchor this group in ways that go beyond the stat sheet. He's a tone setter. A communicator, a hitter, a grinder. And that's exactly what this defense needs after losing veteran leadership and facing criticism for softness against the run. Remember how the Cowboys got exposed late last season in the playoffs? Opposing teams ran straight at them, wore them down, and neutralized that pass rush by forcing the linebackers to tackle in space. And what happened? Too many missed tackles. Too many bad angles. Too many explosive plays allowed up the gut. Jack Sanborn helps to plug that hole. He's known for being fundamentally sound. Great pad level, tight angles, strong pursuit. And while he might not be elite in man coverage, he's smart enough to read the quarterback, drop into zones, and be effective in short areas. Plus, in Eberflus's scheme, he doesn't need to be a cover linebacker, he needs to be a strong side-run enforcer who can call plays, align the front, and play with consistent energy for 4 quarters. Now, the contract situation, there's been talk of a 3-year deal, and while some insiders say it's more of a 1-year prove-it contract, the reality is that this move screams long-term investment. You don't bring in a player who knows your system, who you trust in your defense, and who still has youth on his side just to give him a 1-year rental. Eberflus knows Sanborn. He helped develop Sanborn. This signing feels like the kind of deal that sets up a larger extension if the player performs. Think about it: a full training camp under the new staff, a defensive room where he's likely one of the smartest guys, and an opportunity to start in week 1. That's the path to a long-term role, and you better believe Sanborn's going to take that seriously. He's got something to prove, and Dallas is giving him the perfect platform to do it. And let's talk locker room impact. Dallas has a young defense. Yes, there are veterans like Micah Parsons who, let's be honest, is more of an edge rusher than a traditional leader of the linebacker corps, but you need someone vocal in the middle of the field. Someone who can get guys lined up. Someone who can calm things down when it gets chaotic. Sanborn has already been praised by teammates in Chicago for being that guy. Quiet confidence, but all about the team. Always studying film, always asking the right questions, always leading by example. That culture fits perfectly with what the Cowboys are trying to build after a disappointing playoff exit. This isn't just a piece added to the depth chart, this is a mentality shift. A foundational shift. A message from the front office that says, we're not just adding stars, we're adding soldiers. We're adding guys who will do the dirty work, who will stop the run on 3 RD and 1, who will fight for every inch. And Sanborn has that in spades. So, what does this mean for the rest of the defense? It allows more flexibility. Now the coaches can move players like Parsons and Fowler around the formation with more confidence, knowing they've got intelligent support behind them. It means fewer communication breakdowns. It means more accountability. And perhaps most importantly, it means competition. Training camp is going to be fire this year: Sanborn versus Murray versus Clark versus Overshawn. Iron sharpens iron, and the linebacker battle will be one of the most important to watch. Don't be surprised if Sanborn wins the starting job outright, especially if he's calling plays in camp and earning the staff's trust. And fans, don't underestimate how important that is. In today's NFL, linebacker might not be the most glamorous position, but it's still the heart of your defense. It's the guy who sees the formation, communicates the call, reads the offense, and reacts in real time. If that guy isn't sharp, the whole thing collapses. With Sanborn, you're getting sharpness. You're getting hustle. You're getting a player who has been doubted before, who's been cut, overlooked, and still made his way into a starting role. That's the kind of hunger you can't fake. And it's exactly what the Cowboys need right now. So, Cowboys Nation, I want to hear from you. Do you believe Jack Sanborn is the answer at linebacker? Do you think this move elevates the defense? Is he a full-time starter or more of a key rotational guy? And how do you feel about him possibly being the on-field signal caller for Eberflus's system? Drop your comments below. Let's get the debate going. And don't forget, training camp is right around the corner, so we'll be watching every snap, every rep, and every breakdown as this new-look Cowboys defense takes shape. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that bell because we'll be covering every inch of the preseason, every roster move, and every development on the road to Week 1. This is one of those signings that might not make SportsCenter's top 10, but true fans know these are the deals that win playoff games in January. Sanborn to Dallas. 3 years. Locked in. Let's ride.